All right, let's finish up video 4. We got a couple more items of gross income exclusion to go through, but nothing too major. So here we've got the group term life calculation. I would print this slide off. It's useful. This isn't something that I think about a whole lot or see a whole lot, but this is how to determine when to recognize a fringe benefit as income. Number of thousands over the 50,000 and times that by the number of months of the year. The plan is discriminatory towards key employees, top heavy. Only key employees are insured, then the entire amount of coverage will become taxable. Here we got more fringe benefits, no additional cost benefits, employee discounts, working conditions, de minimis benefits. These are items that the IRS is going to look at and say, you know what, it's so little that we don't care. Your employer gets you a pizza party, that's not taxable income to you. Recreation facilities, transportation fringes, public transportation. So like, for instance, my employer pays for my parking where I work. That's not income to me. It's something that's, nice that they can offer, but I don't recognize it. Here we've got awards, always taxable if it's cash. Awards tangible personal property given based on length of service or safety. There's an exclusion up to $400, and other property given may fall under that de minimis. De minimis is essentially Latin for too little to care. Meals and lodging. Meals and lodging provided to employees are excluded from income. If it's must be provided on employer's premises for the convenience of the employer. Lodging also is a condition of employment. Employee has choice of cash payment or meals and lodging, then it's taxable. Here we've got some examples. I'm not going to read through these, but it's helpful to look at it and see, okay, these are the rules that have to happen for me to not recognize this as income. Other fringe benefits, you got dependent care, educational assistance, student loan repayments, and cafeteria plans. Educational assistance is a pretty popular one that I see. Employer helps pay for student loans. As long as it's under the 5,250, it's not income. So if my employer was paying my student, they could contribute up to 5,250. I don't recognize it as income. It's a benefit received in me, but it's not income to me. Foreign earned income. And you can still be liable for federal tax if you're a U.S. citizen living abroad. That's more international taxation, but if you're a U.S. citizen, the U.S. is going to tax your globally earned income. Foreign tax credit for taxes paid to other countries, or you exclude up to 112,000. Qualify for the exclusion, you must be a bona fide resident of one or more foreign countries for an entire taxable year, or for 330 days during a period of 12 consecutive months. Income from the discharge of a debt. Debt is canceled and forgiven. The taxpayer usually has to include the amount forgiven as income. If I've got a car loan and I stop making payments on it, and the bank says, you know what, it's not worth the hassle trying to get you to pay this. We're going to discharge $10,000 of this loan. I would have to recognize that as income. I would receive a 1099 saying, hey, we discharged debt. This is a benefit to you. Here's the income you pick up. We've got some exceptions. Qualify as a gift, then it wouldn't be taxable, right? Student loan, the discharge of certain student loans is excluded if it's contingent on the individual working for a certain time period and certain professions. That's the PSLF, Public Student Loan Forgiveness. It's discharged due to bankruptcy or insolvency, or mortgage forgiveness up to $7,000. That's from 2020. That's changed a little bit, but exclusion for gain from sale of business stock. 100% capital gain realized sale of small business stock issued after September 27th, 2010 is excluded if you held it for more than 5 years. Other exclusions, sale of home. That was kind of why I mentioned in the first video that I think it's a little more nuanced. You don't exclude all of it, but you can exclude up to $250,000. Military combat disability pay and housing allowance, got foster care payments, Roth IRA distributions. I was taxed on it when I originally put it into my Roth. So when I get it back out, I don't get taxed again. Education IRA distributions and annuity pays to survivors of public safety officers killed in the line of duty. And here we've got income from discharge of debt, and it gets back into what's the intent, right? Is it gift, quest? Well, why am I being discharged of debt? The intention of the parties controls what type of transaction occurred when the debt is discharged. If it's a gift or bequest, taxpayer does not include it in income. If it's a reduction in purchase price, taxpayer does not include it in income. And if it's a cancellation of debt, then the taxpayer may have to recognize that amount. Generally results in income inclusion for the taxpayer. And this gets back, if it's a cancellation of debt, it's generally taxed. Exception if the discharge occurs in bankruptcy or taxpayer is insolvent at the time of the discharge. Forgiveness of student loans. Pay attention again. You might want to know this. Forgiven amounts are not includable if the taxpayer works in certain professions. That's the PSLF. And discharge of student loans on account of the student's debt is not taxable. Who would pay that? All right, that is week 4, exclusions from gross income. All right.